Hello and welcome to the Alopecia Advocate podcast, where we open up real conversations about hair loss, healing, and host. I'm your host, Stephanie Anderson, the Alopecia Advocate. This is a space for education, for empowerment, and breaking the stigma around hair loss and appearance-related issues. Together, we'll explore stories, the science, and strategies that can help us all see beauty, strength, and confidence in a new light. Our special guest today is Avalon Williams, and we're going to dive into her journey, her insight, and what drives her work in supporting others and inspiring her clients. But first, allow me to share a little bit about Avalon. Avalon Williams is the founder and director of Celebrity Unisex Salon in Toronto, a trusted destination for both natural hairstyling and advanced hair loss services. She is a master licensed hairstylist and certified trichologist with more than 20 years of professional experience. Since opening the salon in 2000, Avalon has remained committed to combining artistry with science, offering her clients not only exceptional styling, but also specialized support for those experience hair and scalp challenges. Through her trichology practice, Avalon provides personalized solutions for hair loss and scalp health, addressing the root causes with care, expertise, and proven treatments. Under her leadership, Celebrity Unisex Salon has become a place where individuals can feel confident that their unique needs will be met with professionalism, compassion, and results-driven service. Serving clients throughout Toronto and the Greater Toronto area, Avalon continues to make an impact by helping people restore both their hair and their confidence. I want to welcome you, Avalon, to the podcast. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for
My pleasure. And I appreciate that once I extended the invitation, you so graciously accepted. So you've got so many years of experience in the industry, and I appreciate you agreeing to talk about what it is that you're experiencing in the Toronto area. So you ready to get started with some questions?
Yes, we are. Yes, I
Okay,
am.
great. So when we talk about, because we're bringing awareness to alopecia, if you have any type of personal reflections, what does alopecia awareness, Avalon, mean to you, and how has it impacted you either professionally, personally, or both?
Wow, alopecia awareness. Like when I hear the word alopecia awareness, like so many things come to mind for me. But what stands out most is just shining a light on this condition that, medically and significantly could be so deeply personal for so many people. Like it's such an emotional thing for persons going through alopecia, that dealing with alopecia. Like, being someone from the West Indies, we're always told that our hair is our pride and joy, it's our beauty, and all of these things that go around that. So when you're dealing with such a situation, it's such an emotional thing for a lot of persons. You know, um, I have customers that would share that they have friends, family, relatives, significant others, husbands who haven't seen their hair or haven't seen their hair in years or don't even know what their hair looked like, you know? So to me, that's like just bringing the awareness to it. That is just not like a fashion thing. Like it's like a medical condition that persons are dealing with, and it's very emotional for them. I want to be here to educate people. I want to give them that empowerment, that encouragement, that, there is support, there's solutions, and we're here for them.
I love it. Yes, because a lot of times people, Avalon, feel like they're the only ones dealing with it. And
Hmm.
most times when people think about hair loss, they think about just the appearance related, the aesthetics of it, and not just like you brought out the emotional aspects. So I appreciate you sharing that. So, in your capacity as a trichologist and a hair loss practitioner, as well as you do with your locks, your loctician, sister locks, when we talk about people who are losing their hair and we want to advocate for them, in your area of expertise, Avalon, what do you believe are the most important steps to raise awareness about alopecia and support those affected by it?
Education, education, education. Like, we have to educate the public. We have to educate society. We have to help educate people in our profession, people in the healthcare that, as I said before, like this is really chronic stuff that people are dealing with. It's not just cosmetic, but like it's really a serious situation. They're dealing with. It could be so many things that cause hair loss, like, hormone imbalance, nutrition, all that type of stuff. So I think we really have to like educate people, especially even persons in the hair profession,
Yeah,
like the hairstylists, the barbers. They are the first one that will notice something is happening to someone's head. So we need to educate them that there are places that when they see these things happening, that they can like support their clients by going to the right professional, choosing the right person that will deal with the situation that they're dealing with. And that, but I think the education is a big, big component of bringing this awareness.
I love it. I think you're right in education, education, education. It can't be stressed enough. And the mere fact you're kind of sharing, and I agree that we should bridge the gap between like us in trichology with the hair loss professional, because when you think about it, they're the first responders.
Yeah.
Normally, they see it before their client does because most times people are not looking on top of their head. They're not looking in the back of their head
No.
where it starts. So if they're going to someone who they go to on a continual basis, normally they're the first ones to see it. And if they had a support network of trichologists or dermatologists or someone that they could refer them to, they could help support their client and work together with that hair loss professional.
Exactly. Exactly. I do believe so. Yeah.
Yes. I love the fact that you brought that out. It could be cosmetologists, barbers, or anyone that helps people in that capacity.
Hmm.
So when we also think about hair loss, there is so much stigma attached to it.
Yeah.
What do you feel, Avalon? How can society better support people who are living with alopecia or hair loss? And what role do you think you as a professional plays in changing perceptions around alopecia?
Well, society can start by recognizing that this is a health condition. It's not a flaw. It's not something that, people just going around hiding. It's an actual condition that they're dealing with. I also think like, when someone is wearing their hair bald, that if society could embrace them, that can boost their confidence. And that can go such a long way for someone. Uh, Let me see now.
I
What
like
can
to
I?
call those with the beautiful bald head, bald back baddies, you know?
Yeah, and they look really, really cute. Like I see a lot of women walking around these days with their hair bald and they look so great, or
Yes.
they incorporate in a bit of SMP
Yes.
with it, so there's so much option. There's so much things now in regards like that stigma
Yes.
doesn't have to be there anymore. They don't have to walk around hiding
Yes.
or feeling ashamed that if they cannot talk about it. Like we have to open that gap to make them know that it's comfortable to now to embrace and to you know, talk about it with persons and don't feel embarrassed about it. It's a medical condition. It's
Yes.
not, like this is how we treat any other medical condition. It's
Yes.
the same thing. So why we're treating it like it's some sort of stigma, some sort of like a plague, or like you have something going on with you.
Yes.
That's not the
You
thing.
can't catch it. It's not contagious, right?
Yeah, and you know, and my job is to empower these women, to give them
Yes.
that confidence, to let them know that it's okay.
Yes.
You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just a condition. It's okay.
Yeah. And I love the way you bring it out that just like any other diagnosis, it is a condition.
Yeah.
And people have more compassion if they hear that maybe even they lost their hair due to cancer, but they don't understand autoimmune deficiency like alopecia areata or
You should have
totalis
some
or
more empathy.
universalis.
You should
So
really have some more empathy with these persons, with
yes,
what they through, what they're dealing with, because there's, you know, the thing that I noticed, Stephanie,
uh-huh.
right now, alopecia is just like a word that's just going around.
Yeah,
Everyone is like, I have alopecia.
yeah.
Okay, what type of alopecia you
What
have?
type? Yes,
Different type of alopecia. So I think that's having this awareness that persons can see like there's so many different type of alopecia and different reasons why persons have alopecia. I think that some of the stigma, again, by the education, would erase some
yeah,
of these that's out there in the
yes.
public.
And
Yeah.
this is where it starts. Here on platforms like this, professionals like you who are dedicated to treating those clients and bringing awareness about having that tough conversation. And when we talk about stigma, you kind of, Avalon, kind of touched on it earlier in the broadcast and how it goes just far beyond just the aesthetics or the appearance related. We talked about the emotion. Can you kind of talk about how the emotional part impacts someone losing their hair?
It's very stressful.
Yeah.
Someone going through, as I said, especially from the like the West Indian background where like your hair, you know, a woman shouldn't cut their hair. It's in the Bible and all these different things
Yes.
that you hear about it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
when someone is going through hair loss or they don't even understand like why, you know, even like, you know, when they're going through menopause and stuff like that and their body is changing.
Yeah.
And sometimes the hormone imbalance affect their hair and stuff. They're already dealing with, they don't even know why their body is going through what it's going through, and then have to deal with hair loss and that extra stress that doesn't even add, that contributes even more to
Yeah.
what they're dealing with emotionally. Like I need to be there for them, to give them that confidence, to give them that education, to let them know like you're not alone, you know, and to help them on that path. Like it's a very, very emotional thing for persons.
It works with their confidence.
Yes,
It affects their confidence, their self-esteem, and sometimes they're social. They start to not want to go
withdraw.
out. They withdraw.
Yeah,
Yes.
they withdraw. They withdraw. Yeah. So
And,
people really need to have empathy with them,
yeah.
really create that space that they can feel heard, they can feel validated, to bring back their confidence and all that type of stuff. That's where, you know, part of the role as a trichologist, that's where we come in.
Yes.
Not only just finding a solution that suits that individual, but also to be that emotional space for
Yeah.
them to feel heard and validated and respected.
Yes, that's support. I love it. And
Mhm.
and unfortunately, mental health is such a taboo word, but it shouldn't be. Just
Right.
like any other diagnosis or issue, it's validating, and people tend to, as you and I know in trichology, we may have things that can be recommended. We may have protocols that can help them, but sometimes they're just resolved to this is their lot in life and it's not going to get any better, but that's not necessarily the truth for everyone. You agree?
Yeah. I agree. And that's why we have to create that space, because
Yes.
one of the most important thing with alopecia, early, once you recognize the early stages of it, you more options there are for you,
Yeah.
because at that point in time you can help preserve the hair, or keep it from going like oh, what's that word?
Well, I mean, it may not advance. If you can treat,
Exactly.
it may be not restore all of it, but you may have techniques that can keep any additional of,
Exactly, from progressing,
yeah, from,
any progression, so we can keep it at bay.
yeah,
Which for some persons, that's amazing,
yeah,
because you want it to get worse.
Yeah.
If you reach a point that, or you when you address it, that it's like as you said, you can't. There's nothing really you can really do, but you can just keep it at bay. That alone
Yeah.
could bring so much joy to someone
Yeah.
who's dealing with this matter.
So the encouragement thing is to, I hear you saying, Avalon, is to, when you see it, say something. It's heartbreaking when you have a consultation with someone and you ask them how long have they been losing their hair, and they say 5, 10 years or more. You know, like you said, the earlier that they can come in, the more possibility of being able to help them and have a really good possible outcome.
Yeah, because a lot of stylists they go to cover up right away
Yeah.
when it's an option, but you could cover up and still also deal with the
Treat.
situation.
Yes.
Right? So that's why we
Yeah.
education is the
Yes.
key.
I love it. You can cover up, but you can do things to treat as well while it's being, yeah. I love that.
Address.
So we're
Yes.
going to talk about having encouraging conversations, Avalon. If you could just share one message, if you could
Mhm.
share one message about alopecia to your audience or your clients, what would it be and why is it important to you? I have a feeling maybe education,
Um,
and that's okay.
I would let them know you're not alone.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
You're not alone. And there is help.
yeah,
There is help out there for you.
yeah,
You're not isolated.
yes,
Most of the time, persons feel so isolated, they feel that they can't talk to anyone, they hide it. They hide it from persons and they feel ashamed,
yes,
you know, and that's not I really want them to know that we're here for them.
yeah.
We're really, really, really here for them.
That's
We
powerful.
really, we can make a difference for you.
Yeah,
We want you to be comfortable as soon as you start seeing those stages that you seek out, you reach out to someone who um, is trained and qualified and could address your matter. Someone, I want you to feel empowered in choosing whatever solution that fits your lifestyle, because what may work for one person may not work for the other person,
yes.
right?
It's not
So
cookie cutter. Yeah,
it's not cookie cutter. So I want them to know you're not isolated and to have those conversations, because the sooner you have those conversations, the quicker you can have a solution and you can hold back, as I said, on the progression or stuff progressing to another stage.
yes.
And you can feel empowered. I want you to feel empowered with that choice. Whatever choice you choose, once we give you the solutions, I want you to feel empowered with your choice.
That's so powerful. That
Yeah.
is so powerful because a lot of times they do feel alone.
They feel alone. They feel they have to hide it.
Yes,
They feel like, okay, like something is wrong, but it's a medical condition. So we need the person to understand, just like any other medical condition, this is what you're dealing with. It doesn't mean that for some people, it could be a temporary thing. For some
true.
people, it could be an ongoing thing. But we're here and we're going to walk you through that journey, whatever that journey is for you, if it's medical or if it's temporary or whatever the case is, we're here. So if you want to choose, like it could be something nutritional that you might have to deal with. It might have to be a lifestyle change.
Yes,
It might be even medical, like I said, for some persons. But we're here and we're going to empower you to go through that journey.
I love it. And
Mhm.
even if, because we know there are different types of alopecia, and
Yes.
I laughed and giggled because I understand culturally, because I've heard it, biblically, our hair is our crown and glory. And
Come and
in my
go.
community of my faith, when I was little, you do not cut your hair. It's just so much. So when people find themselves losing their hair for whatever reason, it's kind of
Mhm.
like it's self-inflicted. So maybe they had a style that they didn't care for, whatever the reason is. Sometimes people take it in, so we don't even want people to feel like it's their fault. But once they see it,
No,
there may be a solution. If you was wearing your weave too tight, or extensions or your braids or whatever, still let's try to do something because it may be a solution for that.
Reversible. You
Yes,
never, like, and stylists,
yes,
as I said, they're the first persons
yes,
that's going to see something. And
yes,
they need also to be comfortable enough to speak up and let somebody know this is what they're dealing with.
yes.
I had an example, I had a situation with a customer that, she came in and I said, something's not right with your hair. The texture is changing.
Okay.
And she was like, okay. I said, maybe you might want to go to your doctor's and get a checkup, see where your markers at
Yeah.
and what's wrong with you. And like anybody, like most persons, you hear it and you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came in again because most of the time, like this is a customer with locks that I'm sharing about.
Okay.
I have them
Okay.
in a 4 to 6 week rotation.
Uh-huh.
She came back in and I said, girl, something is definitely wrong
Yeah.
with you. You need to go get checked.
Yes.
Do you know I didn't see her for 3 months after that? She was in the hospital. She was in the hospital and she told them when she went to her doctor, her primary doctor, and they did tests on her, she had to go to the hospital. She had stuff going on with her kidney and stuff. And me recognizing the changes in her hair
Wow.
was able
Wow.
to for her to get the treatments that she needed. So that's what I'm saying. When we see something, we're not medical, right? I'm not a doctor,
Paramedical.
whatever.
We
Right.
we have to know the body systems and stuff. They can't sleep on trichology. We do have to know some
Exactly.
things, but we don't practice
Exactly.
medicine, but we know. That's
Right.
awesome. But this is
Yeah.
the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it true, or do you agree that, and I've said it before, I've heard it say, thank God I started losing my hair because that was a trigger that something else was going on. That was the
Yeah.
first for
It
many.
is a first sign because it's
Yes,
like, in psychology, we know the big dog, small dog
yeah,
knowledge, right? Most
yes, we
psychologists
do.
would know
Yeah,
that when we speak
from
about
Mr.
it. So once you
Barnett.
see something going on, right, with somebody
Yes,
that teaches, so once you
yes,
see stuff start happening with their hair is changing, the texture is changing,
yes,
something is going on right off the back, it could be something nutritional or
yeah.
whatever is going on,
I love
right?
it.
But for her, it was even more. And her doctors was so surprised that the
You, the
trichologist,
trichologist.
the
Yes.
trichologist, and she shared with me that she had a family member died from the same thing that she had to spend 3 months in the hospital for.
My
I,
God.
I can't even remember how many years I've seen this customer. She said, I'm not going anywhere. And she said, I tell persons about you all the time because if you wasn't insisting on me going and following up with my primary care doctor,
Yeah.
I may not be here today.
But
Yeah.
thank goodness that when you saw something, you said something, because many times people are afraid to. I've had stylists say, well, yeah, I seen it, but I didn't want them to think I had did something. No, it could be the
No,
situation that you're sharing now, that something is going on. It has nothing to do with any kind of external issue. I love
no.
that. That right
Yes.
there really does bring the power to what do we do in trichology, and
Yes.
what the power is in saying something when you see something, whether it's the client themselves or
Mm-hmm.
it is the practitioner, the trichologist, or the person taking care of them. Thank you for sharing that, Avalon,
Yes.
because that needed to have been shared. I have
Yes.
one more question for you. You
Okay.
ready?
Go for it.
We're going to talk about the future. So, what is it that, in looking ahead, what changes would you like to see as far as advancement in the conversation about alopecia and hair loss?
Okay. I would really like to see more conversations in regards to more investment
Okay.
being put into the research of alopecia. Like it's so underrated
Yes.
and it's so important. Like, we know that more than 50% of men and women would experience some sort of alopecia in their lifetime. So why are we having conversations about this? Why are we spending more money on research where this is concerned?
Yes.
We need to bridge that gap with the public health and like have them when they're doing their campaigns and stuff like that, that they also bring awareness that, this is just the same seriousness that they bring for other conditions, that they bring it where alopecia is concerned.
Yes.
Really, 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 really like to see
Yes.
that gap, that type of conversation happening.
And
And
let's hope
really,
that it does. Let's hope that this is the catalyst. Podcast like this, what you do there in Canada, just speaking about it. Let's hope that that actually is the start of more research, more conversation, and hopefully finding um, a cure or some effective treatment for this.
yeah,
As I
and
told you, this goes by so quick. It goes by so quick. Our time is almost up, but I know. Thank you, Avalon, for coming and visiting with me all the way from Canada. There's going to be someone who may want to learn more about you and what you do. Can you provide some contact information, please?
okay, so if anyone want to reach out to me, I could be Instagram is Celebrity Unisex Salon. My webpage is celebrityunisexsalon.com. And then it's Celebrity Hair Restoration, which would be, I should have said this part first, celebrityhairrestoration.ca. And the telephone number for the center is 416-850-4085. And I really want persons to know, like, don't let alopecia define who they are. It's just a condition, don't make it define you.
And that's an awesome last word. Thanks again for joining me here today. I really appreciate it. And that's going to end this episode, everyone, of the Alopecia Advocate podcast. I'm Stephanie Anderson. Until next time, be blessed. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.